Hello and welcome to another boss loot from 1000 video, with this one being the Alchemical Hydra, one of old school RuneScape's Slayer bosses, the highest level 1. I'll be going through some info about the boss, so requirements, mechanics, and of course all the drops. Tracked all of this with RuneKnight's Loot Logger plugin, which can be found in the plugin hub, and it's very useful. These 1000 kills are essentially all of my lifetime kills on this boss, minus the first 50 or so, and yeah, as many of you know, this is quite possibly the best GP per hour boss in the game, and the figure you'll see at the end of the video certainly justifies that. As always, to start, a little bit of information about the boss. The Alchemical Hydra is their level 426 Hydra, found in the Karulm Slayer dungeon in Zaya. It requires level 95 Slayer to kill and also a Hydra task. Yeah, I've said that word a few times now. Only available from Konar K. Matan, who is on top of Mount Karulm. The boss has 1100 hit points and attacks with ranged and magic attacks, and has a max hit of 52 in its empowered phase. We'll be explaining the mechanics a little further later. The boss is extremely profitable even without getting the unique drops. Regular drops include tons of raw GP in the form of alcohols and coin drops, as well as herbs, seeds, runes, onyx bolts, E and more, and you get a minimum of 1 roll on the regular table per kill, plus 2 Hydra bones. Hydra has lots of unique drops to go for, and you can only receive 1 unique drop per kill, and this is calculated in a similar way to how Wintertoe works. So you will roll for the rarest unique first, and then if that fails you roll for the next one, and if all of them fail you roll the regular drop table instead, and that will give you 2 rolls as a result. I've got the rates on screen for you right now. It drops all 3 pieces of the Brimstone Ring, and these are given 1 at a time in order, much like how the Abyssal Bludgeon works. There's also the Hydra's Claw, which attaches to the Zamorak in Hasta to make the Dragon Hunter Lance, the Hydra Leather, which creates the best in slot melee gloves, which are the Ferocious Gloves, the Hydra Tail attaches to the Dragon Bone Necklace, and finally there are the Dragon Knives and Throwing Axes, which are very rare, and they mirror the drop tables of other things in this dungeon, so I guess they're technically not Hydra uniques, but yeah, they are rolled before everything else. The average kill here, including the unique drops, is currently worth 177k. There's also the Tertiary Drops to talk about, which you can receive on every kill. The Alchemical Hydra heads give a cosmetic Slayer helm recolour, and Hydra drops hard and elite clue scrolls, Brimstone keys to open the Brimstone chest, as well as the Jar of Chemicals and the Ickle Hydra pet. As for the gear setup, Hydra is very weak to range attacks and gets shredded by most weapons. The Twisted Bow is the most effective due to Hydra's high magic level, and you can max an 83 on task with Dragon Arrows. Otherwise, it's important to prioritise prayer bonus here, therefore Crystal Armour is best to use, as well as a trimmed ranging cape, Devout Boots, and Ring of Suffering imbued, or Ring of the Gods imbued as well, is even better, plus 7 I think, which is better than the Suffering, which is plus 4. Hydra has basically no range defense, so accuracy is not too much of an issue here, thus you can wear things like Devout Boots. Some wishing to extend their tasks will use Bracelets of Slaughter as well. With the boots, do bear in mind you will need to use the Boots of Stone or Brimstone if you don't have the Karen Elite Diary complete. For the inventory, I usually bring 8 to 10 prayer potions, 10 pieces of food, high level alchemy runes in a pouch, and a blowpipe as the special attack weapon. Other things are the crystal dust or crushed crystal shards, good scripting there from me, which you'll use on the ranging potion drops to keep sustaining those potions throughout, although this is not essential, and an antidote for the poison attack, which can be hard to avoid on the first kill of the trip, but you should avoid it for the rest, but it's in case you mess up, of course. Finally, a Rada blessing for the teleport to near the dungeon if you've done the hard or elite Zaya achievement diary. I'll just go into some brief detail about the boss mechanics and show an example kill. Hydra is a very straightforward boss to kill, and it is possible to kill it and take virtually no damage other than the first attack. Hydra attacks with magic and ranged, alternating in a 3 attack cycle which never changes at any point during the fight. It will do its special attack in each of the 4 phases after the 3rd regular attack, and then after the 9th regular attack, protection prayers will block all of the damage from the regular attacks. It will begin with a random attack which cannot be predicted, so you may take some damage, but then is in cycle for the rest of the kill. Hydra has very high defense and damage reduction at the start of each phase, so the kill involves luring it over the correct vent to remove this, and if you lure it onto the wrong vent, it will gain stats instead. The first phase involves Hydra spitting out poison, which can easily be avoided by starting on the correct tile and moving at the right time. The second phase has Hydra producing electricity sparks across the area, which can be avoided by running away or doing the electric skip, which you might have seen. The third phase is where Hydra stuns the player and produces flames all around the room, but this can be skipped with 1 simple movement in the middle of the room. The fourth phase is Hydra's Jad phase, where it attacks faster and alternates between magic and ranged every kill, as well as spitting more poison as its special attack after that third one. It does hit significantly harder and more accurately if not correctly prayed against here. Kills are faster with the twisted bow, but the average one still takes quite a while. The fight does take place in an instant, so all of your drops will stay on the ground, and that's nice for stacking up food, super restores, and ranging potions that come from the boss. You don't need to juggle here either. If you do die, you do have to pay 100k to get your stuff back from the NPC just outside the lair, though don't forget your boots of stone here if you don't have the diary done, and I've seen people, especially on release, people lost millions because of this. Let's talk about the drops I received during these 1000 kills, which is everything apart from the first 50 kills or so before I had the loot logger plugin downloaded. My first drop was one of the rarer ones, being the dragon knives at a rate of 1 in 2000 on a 96 total kill count. And then got the Hydra's Eye, the first of the ring pieces, just under 100 kills later. I also got the Jar of Chemicals on 434 kill counts. So yeah, I was definitely rolling the rarer drops first, let's just say. My next drop was the iconic Hydra's Claw on kill count 464. And then it followed by the second ring piece, the Hydra's Fang, about 300 kills later or so. So yeah, that one took a while. I got the second Hydra Claw, then about 80 kills after that, 822 total kill count, and then my final regular drop was towards the end of the tracked 1000, being the Hydra's Heart and final ring piece. That was 1031 KC total, and yeah, that was the Brimstone ring finished. I got 6 sets of Alchemical Hydra heads too in those 1000 kills, so we'll have more than enough Hydra Slayer helms, let's just say. I did get some clues along the way, but won't be showing those loots as I didn't keep track of what I did with them, and that's the same with the Brimstone keys as well, but they do have an average value of about 100k, so that can be factored into the final profit. Here's the overall loot, and it comes to about 233 mil estimate, which is more than the average kill would suggest, but those two Hydra Claws do make the big difference, being about 120 mil of the total loot. The regular loot still adds up to over 100 mil, so you can see how profitable this boss is to camp, regardless of getting unique drops. I did miss out on the Hydra Leather Tail and Dragon Throwing Axes, and the pet of course, but they would not make an enormous difference overall. And yeah, this is certainly one of my favourite drop logs to look at. Hydra is a money printer, it's as simple as that. I've said that many times already in this video. Whilst not being a very exciting boss fight, I'll definitely admit it's worth killing for profit on both the main and an iron account, to be honest, and for those irons it does have some great upgrades in terms of the claw for the lance and the leather for the ferocious gloves, and the brimstone ring, which does have a few uses at certain places. Overall, it might not be a bad pet to go for either if you want to make tons of money at the same time. Thank you for watching the video, hope you found it interesting, and I will see you in the next one.